Grammy Award-winning baritone Gabriel Preisser uses his performance experience by supporting growth, development, artistic vision, planning, and administration as General Director of Opera Orlando. Tell us about yourself in Opera Orlando.
Well, I grew up here in Apopka, Florida, of all places. Went to Florida State University, and that's where I first kind of fell in love with opera and studied opera. Then I went on to University of Houston and started singing at different opera companies. But my heart was always here in Orlando. My family, my wife and I met here. So we were excited to move back to Orlando once I got a manager up in New York. Also, Orlando has a major airport, so it makes it easy for me to travel for gigs when those come up. And when I moved back, unfortunately, the old opera company had closed down. So I got involved with some of the opera diehards in the community and really worked to get a full-fledged professional opera company up and running again. We started in 2016, and the name of that company is Opera Orlando. And here we are 7 years later, and we're performing in Steinmetz Hall, right in downtown, with orchestra from the Orlando Philharmonic, dancers sometimes from the Orlando Ballet, which is great. So yeah, come check us out at Steinmetz Hall. We do a main stage series there. Then we also do some other productions on the town, which I think we'll talk about a little bit later.
How would you define opera, and how does it distinguish itself from other form of art?
Opera, it's an old art form, and I know sometimes people think, oh, you know, it's old, I don't want to be a part of that. But it started off as the popular art form of its day, really for the people. And it was, the word opera means work, and that's what it is. It's just a work on the stage, told through music, obviously, right? So singing is a big element, orchestra is a big element. I kind of see opera as the culmination of all art forms together, and it's kind of like music theater but on steroids. You know, it's really storytelling in a very dramatic, kind of spectacle way.
How does Opera Orlando sustain the tradition of opera, and why is that important?
Like I said, opera really was an art form for the people. And so when we started Opera Orlando, we wanted to do productions that were representative and reflective of our community. We wanted to be Orlando's opera company. So we've done things like set Carmen, which is a very famous opera, you know, has the Toreador, has the Toreador song and the Habanera. But we set it in Haiti and had the dialogue in Creole because we have a very large Haitian American population here. And Creole is actually the third most spoken language in Central Florida. And the Haitian Chamber of Commerce was our partner on that production. They all came to support the production, and they got to hear their native tongue on the stage for the first time. So finding opportunities to take this art form, but make it be representative and relevant to our audience here in Central Florida. I think that's how the art form is going to survive.
They're still writing new operas as well, right?
There's new opera being written every day. I've been very fortunate to be a part of several new operas. In 2012, I was in the world premiere of Silent Night, which won the Pulitzer Prize. Who knew that opera could win a Pulitzer Prize? And then 2016, I recorded a new opera called Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I did not know they were going to submit it for the Grammys, the Grammy Awards, but sure enough, we got nominated for a Grammy, and we won a Grammy for Best New Opera Recording. I should have brought my Grammy. I totally forgot. So yeah, there's new opera being written all the time. Opera Orlando is doing a new opera this year called Baseball, a musical love letter, so a baseball opera, and it's a retrospective on the history of baseball, both the women's league, the men's league, the Negro League, everything, all the aspects of baseball. So opera can be so many different things, and that's what's exciting about the art form.
What can someone who's attending a show expect?
So if it's your first time coming to the opera, I know opera has a lot of stereotypes that we're trying to remind people they don't really exist. Anybody and everybody can come to the opera. And this season specifically, all of our shows are family friendly. So bring the kids to come see Daughter of the Regiment. It's a comedy, or come see baseball. You can come in a tux if you want to. Like, opera's a great excuse to dress to the nines if you're looking for that fancy night out. But you can also come in jeans and a t-shirt. You know, we're in Florida after all. And the Dr. Phillips Center, their motto is arts for every life, and we embrace that as well. You know, opera should be enjoyed by everybody. Now, sometimes operas are done in a foreign language, and that can be kind of like, oh, that's intimidating, I don't know about that. But we do a lot of our productions in English. So for instance, the baseball opera, obviously in English. Daughter of the Regiment, the dialogue is in English. The music will still be in French, because it's much prettier to sing in French, but don't despair. We'll have what are called super titles, basically translations above the stage, so that way you'll know exactly what's going on. So, I mean, there's really no reason not to come. Mm-hmm. If you like storytelling, if you like music, if you like Broadway, like music theater, that's what opera is, and that's what you can expect when you come to the theater.
Okay, so great excuse to reuse that prom gown.
It's a great excuse. Yeah, drag it out of the closet, or, you know, that dress you got for a wedding 2 years back, you know. Yeah, it's a great excuse to dress up if you want to.
Bridesmaids gowns.
Right, that's it. I still have mine, yeah.
What other local art programs are featured in your shows?
So we have several education programs. That's a big part of our mission. You know, the main stage productions, but also how do we get opera out into the schools? How do we get our young people introduced, exposed to arts and culture? We have a great youth company, ages 8 through 18. They meet during the school year. And the great thing about them is it's a professional company. So these kids get training in acting, singing, yoga, Alexander technique, improv, and then they get to perform in our productions. They were our children's chorus for Carmen. They were the gingerbread kids in Hansel and Gretel. They'll be in Magic Flute this season. They also put on their own productions each season. We also have a studio artist program. We audition over 500 applicants from across the country. We pick the top 4. So you can imagine these are very talented singers who are aspiring opera singers just out of college. We bring them in. They do outreach programs in the schools, Orange County, Osceola County, trying to get into Seminole County this year as well. They do concerts in retirement centers. So we're very proud of our studio artist program and our youth company. And then we have great partnerships. You know, we partner with the Orlando Philharmonic Orchestra on their young people's concerts. They're also our orchestra for our main stage productions. We do some productions over at the Ballet Center, the Orlando Ballet Center, and we have some of their dancers in our productions when appropriate. We're also partnering with Micheli Puppets for the 2nd year in a row. They created new puppets for, I can show a visual, right? This was a production we did last year, The Secret River. There you go, hold up like that. And they created original puppets because it was a piece set in Central Florida with a panther and a bear and a heron. And then they're doing the puppets for our production of the Magic Flute this season as well. And I mean, who doesn't love puppets?
Yeah.
Right? So definitely bring the kids down to our productions. There's something for everybody.
You mentioned Alexander technique. Would you like to go into that a little bit more? Yeah,
so our youth company, we try and give them a holistic approach to being a singing actor. And Alexander technique focuses on good posture and exercises that young singers can do, breathing exercises to make sure they're always, first of all, being healthy when they perform, but maximizing their physicality to present themselves on stage.
Is there anything that you do for community outreach, going out into the community, educating people on that you're here and what you do? We
try and do a touring production each season. And so this season, our touring production was All Is Calm, which went out to the Polk Theater in Lakeland, to the Wayne Dench Theater in Sanford, also went to the VA, because All Is Calm is about the Christmas truce of World War I. And so we wanted to present that for our veterans. And it's our 2nd time doing it, and the veterans just love the production. I did mention we do a lot of in-school programs and we get out into the schools, but something that we're really excited about is with these productions like The Secret River that we recorded, we were able to share that with over 20,000 students virtually. And that was not just here in Orange County, but Osceola County, Lake County, even Alachua County. So finding ways to share our recordings, whether it's in person, our performances, whether it's in person or also virtually, is kind of a new form of outreach coming out of COVID, obviously. I think another big element of our outreach is picking repertoire that will connect with different parts of our community. The Secret River was a story about a young African-American family, and we were really excited to bring that to Central Florida. And we always look for those opportunities to pick repertoire that will engage with our community. We've also done benefit concerts in the community. We've done a concert to help support Ukraine, and we have one coming up to help support the Ukraine Ballet specifically. So any chance we get to collaborate, be a part of the community, I think it's super important. We are a nonprofit organization, and we really need to be externally outward focused, outward facing to how can we serve our community.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our viewers?
It's an exciting time to be in Orlando. If you haven't been to Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts, first of all, it's gorgeous. It's right in the heart of downtown. It's very accessible, and they have this new venue called Steinmetz Hall, which is built for opera. I mean, it's a real opera house, and the acoustic is perfect, and we just love being there. So I guarantee that if you come to Steinmetz Hall, come to the opera, you're gonna love it. You're gonna fall in love with it. And I hope that you feel like you're being part of the local community when you come to Opera Orlando, because that's our goal. So hope to see you at the opera, okay?
And how can they learn more and get in touch with you?
Check us out online at operaorlando.org, or follow us on Facebook, Opera Orlando, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on TikTok, but I probably should be. Also, our YouTube channel has several of our productions up there and videos, so we're all over the interwebs. You can also call 407-512-1900 if you do phone calls anymore. Does anyone do phone calls anymore, Emily? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm really happy that we do have opera as part of our community.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And thanks for everything you do to support the arts.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.